This stir fry is absolutely fantastic, and like I said, it's really healthy for you. It's got all your proteins, carbs, vegetables, everything like that. It's really clean, but oh my gosh, it absolutely tastes amazing. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cut some chicken. I just picked this up. This knife is awesome. It's a razor sharp by Cutlooks. It is the bull nose, kind of a butcher knife, but it obviously works fantastic for chicken. I do like to use a wood cutting board, in my opinion, because I just get more stability. It just feels better. And I don't like to cut chicken directly on the wood because I don't want the salmonella and stuff like that. So I use a plastic kind of little flexible one on here. And then what I do is I just take my chicken and just put it up here. And this thing just slices like butter. Like I don't even have to put hardly any pressure on that. And what I typically like to do when I cook stir fry for chicken is I like to cut it in strips like this. And then all I do is I rotate it out. And we're going to just slice them in little tiny chunks. They just, to me, it cooks faster, cooks better, cooks more evenly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a bunch of these, finish it up, and I'll have a big nice pile of chicken, and then I'm going to put it on the wok. I'm going to show you how that works, and I'm going to show you what I do with the seasoning. It's fantastic. Just a tip, when you got a knife that's this sharp, it doesn't hurt to have some kind of like gloves, just in case. I actually cut myself twice in less than 2 minutes, so I decided to put my gloves on because this thing is just way too sharp to be messing around. Okay, so basically just cubed up my chicken, and now all I typically do to season it is I just lay it flat. I kind of mat it out so it's a little spread, and I cheat by using one of these electric salt shakers, which is great. I actually have some sea salt in here, and I just push that button. It does have a nice light on it, and I'm just going to kind of go up and down, not too powerful, not a lot of salt on there, because I'm going to be adding some soy sauce. I do use a little bit of pepper. So the same thing with the pepper, but I use a very small amount compared to what I would normally season my stuff with. And I actually throw the honey hog barbecue on here. Not a lot, just again, because I do like the kind of the flavor of it a little bit. So I'm just going to sprinkle it just like this. This is by Meat Church, by the way. I'll put a link out there when you see it. So I put that on. What I do is I kind of just let this sit for a little bit because I just like the things to penetrate in here, and then I'll be cooking. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I got a nice little wok here. And it's a flat bottom wok, which is cool because I have an induction oven. And if you've never seen an induction oven / stove, these things will heat up in literally split seconds. Like it's absolutely insane. It's magnetic. And this will start to smoke really quick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of avocado oil in here, which I have in this bottle here. So I'm going to get this a little warm. It's already hot, believe it or not. And I'm going to put quite a bit of olive oil or avocado oil in here. And then I'm going to turn the temperature down to probably about a 7. You're going to see it start to smoke. I'm going to start adding my chicken. Okay, so cut up my chicken like I said. We seasoned it, got the wok hot, got the oil in there. You can kind of see a little bit of smoke. I did turn it down because this thing will cook way too fast. So I'm going to take probably about a quarter of this right now. And let me put my thumb on here so I don't get it all over the place. And the reason I'm doing that is I like to cook small batches at a time. And I get it real quick. I like to put it through there so it coats with the oil. And now I'm just going to kind of let that sit in there. I'll probably turn it up just a little bit more, kind of a medium-high heat, and let that kind of stir in here. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to add some soy sauce to it. Okay, so I'm going to use some soy sauce. I actually just use the generic stuff by like Kroger or whatever brand it is. And I like to use the light because it's a little overpowering with too much sodium. If I don't put a ton on here, but I put enough to get it there. And then after I do it, I mix it up. Okay, so one of the things I like to have is cooked shrimp in my stir fry. I kind of like to have that extra flavor to it. And I get this from, it's called Sandbar. I get it at Kroger, a pretty big bag. And since it's frozen, I actually just put it in a little bowl of water and just let it sit while I'm doing my other cooking. And then that's easier to cook once it's a little defrosted. Okay, so I've been stir frying, which is, kind of mixing it up a little bit like that. I like to keep an eye on my temperature by using a meat thermometer. You can just open it up, and then what I do is I just put it in like the center of some of the fat pieces. I'm at about 150, 140 degrees right now. There's another piece about the same. So what I'll do is I'll just keep cooking that till I get it right about, since this is chicken breast, I'll probably get it up to about 165, and then I'll take and do the next batch. Okay, so I pulled the first half that I cooked. I got the second half cooking. And what I want you to see is that's pretty hot, but it's nice and tender and it's perfectly cooked. And it tastes amazing. It's moist still. So, like I said, I got the temperature up to about, I think it was like 160. And then I pulled it. It's going to still cook while it's sitting here. And then I'm going to finish my batch up. Okay, so we're going to add the shrimp. They're thawed out. I do like to take the tails off. Some people like to leave them on, but it's pretty simple. Just tweeze up here and gently pull because there's a lot of meat left there. If you don't, there's my Band-Aid from cutting my finger on that sharp knife. But we're all good. All right, now it's time to cook the shrimp, and I've got my cast iron skillet going on my griddle here. And what I do is I put a big glob of Kerrygold butter in here, and I got to turn that down because that gets hot really fast. I don't want it to be super brown, but we're going to leave it in the center here. And then I don't have any seasoning on these. I am just going to lay these straight down, just like this. What I will do is I'm going to slightly salt them again with, or just like that. And now I'm just going to let these cook on one side real quick. All right, so I got it up to about medium-high heat. And what I like to do is kind of let it see where you can see the butter start to brown. And then I'm going to go through and flip each one of these. The reason I like to do this is because it gets a little bit of a butter char on them, which I think gives it an amazing flavor. Okay, flip them all, and now I give them probably another minute, minute and a half, because I don't want them to be like totally cooked, but just enough. And now all I'm going to do is separate them on the plate. Now, the reason I separate everything is because some people in my family, my wife, in fact, doesn't like to have all of her food mixed. So I will show you how I eat the stuff here in a second. Okay, so now I'm gonna cook some vegetables, put the wok back, clean it out, obviously. And then I throw all my frozen vegetables in here. What I like to do is just add a little water to it. And I'm gonna put the lid on it. Okay, so after I let all the water kind of boil up and get the, everything not frozen, what I do like to do is let it scorch a little bit. I know that sounds weird. I just like a little bit of a char flavor, and all I did was add a little bit of avocado oil to it, let it char up, and now I'm gonna turn it off, and these vegetables are gonna actually have a nice flavor to them now. All right, so everything I needed to get cooked got cooked. So what I typically do, because some people don't like to just eat everything all together, is I pre-cook the rice. So you know how to cook rice. So I don't like a lot of rice because I kind of eat clean. I'm then going to pile some chicken on here, just like this, get a good amount. Then I'm going to grab a few shrimp. I'll try not to be a complete hillbilly. I'll just grab maybe 3 or 4 shrimp, put them on here, and then a little thing of veggies. So I got everything in here, and I just like to use a little bit of a sesame soy sauce. I squeeze a little bit on here like this, not a ton. And this is an extremely healthy meal for you, by the way, because it's got vegetables, protein, carbs, but they're all clean. Everything's good. Like I said, I only use a little bit of this, so let's check it out. Get myself I'm gonna use a spoon. Like to mix it up. Some vegetables in here.
Perfect.
This stir fry is absolutely fantastic, and like I said, it's really healthy for you. It's got all your proteins, carbs, vegetables, everything like that. It's really clean, but oh my gosh, it absolutely tastes amazing. Go make this, you're gonna absolutely love it.